Peace and blessings, frequency hoppers. Peace and blessings. Welcome to the Frequency Journal Podcast, a sanctuary of remembrance and resonance, where we explore the art of spiritual frequency hopping and pathways to ease love and grace. I'm your host, Imani Sankofa, clarity coach, soul doula, and frequency guide, here to walk beside you as you remember who you are and rise into your highest vibration. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's tune into the frequency of remembrance together. Welcome to this week's Clarity Check-In. This is your invitation to become aware of one of the most influential forces shaping your life: frequency imprinting. Many people believe they are simply reacting to life as it unfolds. Yet, much of what they experience originates from energetic patterns that were absorbed long before they ever made a conscious choice. Today, we'll explore what frequency imprinting is, how it forms, the different ways it happens, and how spiritual frequency hopping allows you to consciously create new patterns that align with the life you choose. So what is frequency imprinting? Frequency imprinting is the energetic process through which repeated thoughts, emotions, environments, experiences, beliefs, and relationships become internal energetic patterns. So basically, it's an energetic pattern. Over time, these patterns become familiar frequencies. Instead of consciously choosing your responses, your alignment system and subconscious begin operating from these familiar energetic signatures. Your life gradually reflects the frequencies that have become most deeply imprinted. Good news: frequency imprinting does not determine your future. It simply explains why certain experiences continue to repeat until a new frequency becomes more familiar than the old one. Now, there are several types of frequency imprinting. We're only going to cover a few today. So the first one is family frequency imprinting. This begins before you understand language. Children naturally absorb the emotional atmosphere of their home. Without realizing it, they begin matching the energetic patterns surrounding them. Some examples include safety, scarcity, love, conflict, joy, anxiety, emotional suppression, and trust. So how this happens: repeated emotional exposure trains the alignment system to expect certain experiences. The body begins interpreting these patterns as normal. For example, I was watching YouTube University, shout out to YouTube, and there was this video where this woman was recording her small baby. It was an infant baby. And she was like, "You guys, my baby only wants to listen to rap music." So she turned it on like some pop. The baby cried. Then she changed it to rap music, and the baby just got really quiet, actually went to sleep with this loud rap music playing. Okay, so it turns out that mom was listening to rap music all the time when she was pregnant. So now that's all the baby wants to listen to. The baby doesn't want to hear, cute baby songs. She wants to hear rap music. Another baby video that I watched, and this one you all may have already seen, is the one where the baby is with dad. It's a newborn baby, and the baby's crying. And then dad says the right? He goes, and he does that, right? And the baby stops crying and goes back to sleep. Okay. Another one I saw where the baby is crying and mom gets the sound bowl. And she rings the sound bowl, and the baby stops crying, goes back to sleep. what that tells me, whatever mom was doing when she was pregnant, she was imprinting baby's alignment system. And now that the baby is here, that is the experience the baby expects to have. And that is what they respond to. Frequency awareness creates separation. Once you recognize inherited frequencies, you become free to consciously select the energetic patterns you wish to continue and those you wish to release. The second way that you can have a frequency imprint is through your culture. Communities, schools, religions, workplaces, and society continuously broadcast collective frequencies. These frequencies shape beliefs about success, beauty, relationships, worthiness, gender, aging, wealth, spirituality. So how does this happen? The desire for belonging often leads people to adopt collective beliefs without questioning whether they align with their authentic nature. For example, the song of the summer, I won't say the song because I don't want to promote the song, but the song of the summer has been the latest talk on this subject. And the song celebrates scamming and criminal activity, just low vibing energy. Now there's this trend that's going on where the parents taught this song to their children. They've played it over and over to the point where the children know all the words, and I'm talking about small children, know all the words to this song. And then the parent is recording the children singing this song, and then they're posting it in an effort to get attention and likes and to feel like they're a part of something, a part of the community, because this song was awarded, the song of the summer, and the artist got, this BET award. It was a real big thing. And then, of course, you had other people, light workers, who were speaking out against this type of messaging. Well, the reason they're speaking out is because this song is very, very catchy. First of all, it's snagging the parents. Okay, let's start there. They're already entangled. And then the parents are now transferring that frequency, that energy onto the child. And they're imprinting the child with the music, with the sound, with the words, the lyrics of the song. And then posting it in a public platform, which then transfer that energy onto other people that are in the collective. And the song is just spreading. The spiritual frequency hopping effect is, as consciousness expands, belonging becomes less important than alignment. You begin choosing frequencies based upon truth rather than social approval. And in this case, with the song, we've seen people do that. We've seen not just light workers, but just people within the collective, generally speaking, that said, hey, I don't want to be in this low vibing energy, and I'm choosing a higher frequency. India Irie is one of those people. I've seen other people speak out, saying, I am choosing a higher frequency, not only for myself, but I'm choosing a higher frequency for my children, for my family, and I'm encouraging others to do the same. And I'm totally in agreement with that messaging. I heard the song. Yeah, it's not a song. I don't even want to repeat the name of the song. It's not a song that I would ever play again. Anytime I hear the song now, I would turn the song off. And it's not just that song. So let me be clear. It's not just that song. I heard some other artists. I won't say their name, but I heard some other artists on Tiny Desk. I love Tiny Desk. Shout out to all the beautiful people over at Tiny Desk. You guys are doing an amazing job. They had not just Tiny Desk either, but Nucci's Front Porch. I love Nucci's Front Porch. You can find both of their channels on YouTube. Check them out. If you love live music, check them out. They have all kind of artists. So there was this artist, this group. They were on both Nucci and Tiny Desk. And back in the day, the old me loved them. I love them. I love the music. I love the sound. Cats coming out of Memphis, they just own it, right? But other day, when I heard them on Nucci and I heard them on Tiny Desk, something in me no longer resonated with their music anymore. My frequency where I am today no longer resonated with them. And when I was listening, I couldn't listen long. And I was like, wow, that what that told me was that I had changed. My frequency had changed because what they were saying no longer resonated with the person that I am today. So spiritual frequency hopping can help you elevate your frequency to wherever you need it to be. And it's your level, because the only person that you meet is yourself. So those are some examples where you can see how frequency imprinting can take place. Now, another example, another type of frequency imprinting is emotional frequency imprinting. Now, this one is a really big one because we all experience emotions in some form or fashion. We all experience that. So highly emotional experiences create powerful, energetic memories. Not every emotional experience will create a frequency imprint, but some of them will. Now, some examples include great joy, loss, embarrassment, rejection, achievement, grief, celebration, and fear. It just depends on your experience. The stronger the emotional charge, the deeper the imprint. The subconscious stores these experiences as reference points for future situations. Now, with spiritual frequency hopping, healing occurs by changing the energetic relationship to the memory. The memory remains, but the frequency changes. Let me give you an example. Have you ever just had a situation where it was so painful, whether it was abuse, trauma, or even joy? It was just so much, right? Where you think back on it and that moment now feels like a blur. You think back on it. Let's say you had a painful breakup with someone that you love dearly. And initially, your heart was broken. I know my heart has been broken before, and I use broken in quotes, in that context. I've been hurt very badly. That's what I mean. And to the point to where my throat just closed. My throat chakra closed. I couldn't even speak. The pain was so deep. And then my chest was so tight to the point I just went numb. At first, it felt like this severe burning sensation. Like I just wanted to rip my shirt off. That's how bad it hurt. And then I just went numb to where I couldn't feel anything. And I was like that for a little while, where I couldn't feel anything. Well, just me talking about that experience today, you don't hear pain in my voice. I don't feel anything. Yes, I remember what happened. I remember how I felt in that moment. But the pain of it, the emotion of it, I've been able to overcome that. That's why I'm not crying or expressing any type of grief or sadness or anything about the situation. And that's how you know when you've changed frequencies, is when you can think back on the memory and then nothing. There's nothing. It's like, okay, yeah. Even if, let's say you had a very good time. Let's say you went to Disney World. And you went to Disney World as a child. You got to see the Mufasa play. And you saw Scar. You saw the whole thing, right? The Lion King. And it was amazing. You saw Tinkerbell. You had so much fun. And you know you had fun. You remember that day vividly. But in this moment, that joy, that excitement, that high that you had in that moment, you're probably not feeling that the way you did when you was a kid. Even though just thinking back on it makes you feel good, the level of high that you had that day, You're probably not feeling that in this moment. So that's what I mean about changing frequencies. Another way that you can experience frequency imprinting is you can imprint yourself, self-imprinting. Perhaps the most powerful imprint comes from you. Every identity statement creates frequency. For example, when you say, I always fill in the blank. I never fill in the blank. I'm just someone who fill in the blank. This is who I am. Anytime you make statements like that, you're imprinting your frequency. Anytime you make statements of I am, that is a form of self-imprinting, frequency imprinting. Repeated self-identification becomes energetic instruction. That's why the who am I is so important. Because every time you say I am, you're creating a frequency imprint. Repeatedly, every time you do it repeatedly. So if there is negative self-talk, you're constantly beating yourself down. You're imprinting yourself. You're creating a frequency imprint. Every time you big yourself up, you're creating a frequency imprint. This is why every day I tell myself, I love you, Imani. I see you, Imani. I hear you, Imani. You're amazing, Imani. That's why I do that. I do it every day, multiple times throughout the day, but I do it every day. I say that to myself. Why? Because I am imprinting myself. That is the way that I fill my own cup. I'm riding the wave of the love frequency, the self-love frequency. That's my frequency. I'm on that wave, right? So that's why I do those things for myself. Now, your subconscious organizes your actions to remain consistent with your identity. So instead of asking, who have I always been? The higher question is, who am I remembering myself to be now? Who am I now? Now, frequency imprinting often produces automatic reactions, familiar relationship patterns, repeated financial experiences, similar opportunities, consistent emotional states, habitual thinking, familiar levels of confidence, and predictable life outcomes. Many people believe these experiences represent fate. Often, they simply represent familiar frequencies expressing themselves repeatedly. Now, by using the spiritual frequency hopping method, you can become aware of your frequency. Once a frequency becomes visible, it becomes available for transformation. Rather than fighting old patterns, you introduce new frequencies. You do this by frequency awareness, new emotional experiences, different environments, intentional practices, some that I mentioned earlier, expanded identity, that's the who am I exercise, daily repetition. You might have some affirmations, or you may have a spiritual hygiene practice that you do. A loving self-observation where you just think back on yourself, go inside and do some inner reflection, and don't forget taking aligned action. Eventually, your new frequency becomes more familiar than the old one. When familiarity changes, reality begins reorganizing around it. Now, I have a clarity check-in reflection for you. Before we get started, take a deep breath to ground your energy. Inhale, exhale. Take a moment and ask yourself, which frequency feels most familiar in my daily life? Which frequency feels most familiar in my daily life? Where did I first learn this frequency? Where did I first learn this frequency? Does this frequency support the life I am creating? Does this frequency support the life I am creating? Which frequency would I like to strengthen instead? Which frequency would I like to strengthen instead? What is one small action I can repeat this week to reinforce that new frequency? What is one small action I can repeat this week to reinforce that new frequency? Remember, transformation rarely begins with dramatic change. It begins with one intentional frequency. Practice consistently until it becomes your new energetic home. I'll leave you with this final thought. Frequency imprinting explains why certain patterns can feel automatic, but it does not place limits on what is possible. Every moment offers an opportunity to reinforce a different energetic pattern through frequency awareness, intentional practice, and aligned action. In spiritual frequency hopping, each new choice is more than a decision. It is an energetic imprint that gradually reshapes how you experience yourself, your relationships, and the world around you. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you for tuning into the Frequency Journal podcast. May today's conversation help you shift into deeper harmony and live from the clarity of your true essence. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who's ready to remember their light. To go deeper, explore frequency alignment sessions, rituals, and resources at spiritualfrequencyhopping.com. And you may subscribe to the Frequency Journal here on Substack for weekly vibrations of remembrance. And until we speak again, keep rising, keep hopping, and be the light.